Those of you who have been following the channel for a while recognize this Paludarium. It used to house my fiddler crabs, which I now have one left in a different enclosure. So it's time to prep this aquarium for its next project. The process is going to include me removing everything and clean up the glass so it looks good for something new. So I'm going to start this by removing the hardscape, sand, and water. Follow along with me to see the process of preparing this Paludarium for the next project. I am going to manually remove as much sand as I can out of this enclosure before I take it outside and clean out the rest. It would probably be more efficient to use a larger container to scoop the sand out or take the whole thing outside to clean the sand out with a hose. But it was just me at the house today, so I did not want to move this with water and sand all by myself. Off screen, I removed as much sand as I could out of the Paludarium. I didn't want to bore you all with the whole process, so I did it off screen. After that, I took a food container, used it to tip the tank over so most of the water moved to one side, and started a siphon to remove the rest of the water out of the tank. I wanted to remove as much water and sand before taking the aquarium outside to clean out the rest of the sand. At this point, I felt like I took enough water out and it's ready to be taken outside. So this is what the tank looks like after I took a bath outside with the hose. There is still just a little residual sand, but that shouldn't be an issue. The big problem now is the glass is still incredibly dirty. So in this step, I used white vinegar to spray down the glass to remove calcium buildup and whatever other gunk was growing in the fish tank. I like using vinegar because for the most part, it is not dangerous to future inhabitants of this enclosure. I prefer using natural ingredients for my pets than chemicals such as bleach. So here we can see a handful of stubborn spots of calcium that don't want to come off. So what I did next is spray some vinegar down, let it soak in for a little bit longer to hopefully break down the calcium, and then use a razor blade while the glass is wet to try to scrape off the residual calcium buildup. If it doesn't come off, it should disappear when water is added to the enclosure, so I'm not too worried about it. But if you try to use a razor blade on the glass, make sure you angle it right and guarantee the glass is damp, like I am doing in the video. Otherwise, you run a higher risk of scratching your glass. So finally, here's what the glass looks like after I cleaned all the sides. I think it looks great compared to how it looked before. There's a little bit of stubborn algae buildup on the silicone, but I don't want to risk compromising the silicone by scrubbing it. It should be fine. So hopefully this process gives you all the motivation to clean out your aquarium. I love setting up tanks, but cleaning them out is always a chore. Regardless, that's all I have for you all today. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time, and hopefully in the near future, I'll have a video up and running related to the next project this aquarium will be a part of.